Hello.
Hi there, I'm Lisa.
I'm Doug. I hope you've been enjoying the first couple of videos we've put up on our houseboat build. We thank you for watching them. We hope you continue to watch them. We've enjoyed seeing some comments already. It's nice to hear some feedback. So far it's all been positive. I expect there will be some negative, but we're hoping most people like what we're doing and enjoy what we've done.
Our channel, we decided to call it Retirement Our Way, and this channel isn't really just about building a boat, but that is certainly the first step in it. When you're building a boat and it's taking a number of different years, you can't put everything on hold for the building of the boat. So we've continued to take some vacations, not as many as we would. We have family obligations. We come to Florida for the winter, which is where we are now. So we wanted to include also some of those experiences and adventures in our channel. So
yeah, in the long term, the channel will be, after the boat's built, the channel will be just our adventures. We have a travel trailer, so we do trips on it, go different places and explore, and we'll do some videos on that. And obviously we'll do boating videos as we take this boat to new places, and we'll share with you our experiences. So yeah, where we're at with this video is the last video where we left off in the construction of the boat was about a month before we were leaving for a 6-week vacation on our travel trailer. And I was kind of pushing hard to get it to a stage before we left, and I never really slowed down to take any video footage of the progress. So there is no video for the last, I'm not sure, maybe 3 weeks of work. There are, thankfully, some pictures. When we started building the boat, we really didn't plan on doing a YouTube channel. And so we weren't, focused on making sure we had good footage of the entire project. Mostly we took it for our own, as you get older, your memory gets less capable, and just, it's nice to look back and kind of be reminded of how it all was.
Well, I think we started it when we went on our 6-week vacation, thought if we don't do some videos and talk about our trip and some of the highlights, then we wouldn't really, by the end, remember it
It gets foggy.
So we started with that, and then it sort of has morphed into,
hey, let's start a YouTube channel.
So anyways, we'll see how this goes, but that's, I think, how it started. So initially, yeah, we had a lot more pictures than we did video
footage. Yeah. So this video that we are doing now is going to be more of a slideshow with a little narration of what's happening, and we also kind of wanted to explain why it's not just a video, but we're working with what we have. This much as right now we're in January of 2025, the status of the boat on YouTube time is the summer of 22. And the boat is obviously much farther along now than it was then, but it'll be a while before we'll have all that on YouTube because it all has to take time. So yeah, we've decided we want to basically run the channel in the chronological order of our actual life. So we worked on the boat, then we went on a 6-week vacation with our travel trailer, and then we came back and worked on our boat. And so that's the way we're gonna post the videos, in that same order. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy watching us build a boat and watching us take some vacations. So once I got done putting the straight bottom on the boat, then I had the challenge of building the curved bow. I started by, I don't know if you remember back at the beginning of the last video, I made the stem, that oak curved piece that went up at the nose to take you from the keel up to the front deck. So that was the next step, was to fasten that to the keel stringer of the boat. After I got the stem attached from the keel stringer going, what in the end would be up, but for now down, then before I could really do anything else, I had to build the framework for the front deck. Just only way I could know where anything was going was to get that done. So I built the framework for the front deck, and that gave me a place to go to. And then from that point, I continued to put together the nose. Then I put a couple 1x1s to take me from the chine on had the flat bottom part of the boat around to the stem, and that gave me a guide to fasten the plywood for the transition from the bottom of the boat up into the nose. That was too sharp a curve to do with the 1/2 inch plywood that I used on the bottom of the boat, so I did 2 layers of 1/4 inch. Obviously I put the 1 layer on, and then once I got that all on, trimmed and attached, then I put a whole mess of waterproof glue, and then I did the 2nd layer of plywood. Once I had all the plywood on that, I figured that was the time that I should try to get the hole in for the bow thruster. That was a bit of a scary thing. I had this nice finished look that I really was pleased with, and now I have to try to cut a hole in it and hopefully line it up with the hole that was already in the keel stringer, so the fiberglass tube, the tunnel for the bow thruster, would just slide right through nice. So I thankfully managed to do that without making a mess and got the hole lined up through. Then I trimmed the tube to make it fit the hole. And I left the tube sticking out about 1 inch too far at the leading edge, so when I did the fiberglass work I could make a little bit of a flare, because they said in the instructions for the bow thruster to try to do something to reduce the amount of water that would kind of go in there when you're running and beat on the impeller and whatever. So I made a little flare at the leading edge to kind of try to deflect some of the flow away from going straight into the tube. So time will tell when we actually run it. Hopefully I did it. It looked like I did it the way they said I should do it. So when it's all done and that tube is slid through the hole, it sticks out about 1 inch too far at each side on the leading edge. It's nice and flush at the trailing edge, so I could kind of radius that and have a nice flow past it the rest of the way. After the bow thruster was put in, the next phase was to hang the plywood down the sides, fastening it to the reverse chine and to the transom at the back, and then bringing it forward. I did tongue and groove joints using my router on the plywood. It's only 3/8 plywood, so it's not a lot, but it does, something to tie the two pieces together. And of course there's some framework on the inside. And I brought that 3/8 plywood forward. Before I could bring the 3/8 plywood that was on the sides and curve it around to the nose, I continued the reverse chine that was straight along the length of the boat. I made it come around to the nose, so then that side plywood could kind of fasten to the reverse chine. And once that was all finished, the original 1x1 that I'd put on the inside, I removed it. It was no longer needed. It was just there as a temporary guide. At the back of the boat, I also did all the framework for the decking. I don't really have any photos of that. It was hard enough to lay under there. Combination of lay, crawl, kneel, all underneath the boat, because with the hull upside down, it's right down close to the ground. And I did all the framework for the back deck and, the hatch openings and all that, but I didn't really get any pictures of that. I did get a little video footage, and the main reason for the video footage, again, was for my own benefit when time comes to fasten things, to know where I have wood for things and backing. Just so I'll remember what I've done in here, this is under the back deck, transom there, and the alcove for the propane tanks, and then this would be port side when the boat's right side up, is the place to get where that board is where the fuel fill and holding tank waste fittings mount through it, just to give a little extra beef. And then there's holes to get from the upper section down into the bilge with the hoses, and then around on the side of the boat here I've got access to reach up into put the nuts on the bolts for the cleats, passing through the engine compartment, and then over to the other side here beside the propane I've got a place to pass the propane gas line, get it into the bilge, and then there's the walk through transom gate. After I got the nose all made pretty, then I put backing in the deck for cleats and railing stanchions, and I measured all that and took pictures, which you're now looking at, which would give me future reference to where everything was, so I would make sure I fastened everything into something solid. And I installed the bow eye. I had to flatten the surface there so it would go in and look nice and pretty. And then I took the router around all the strakes and chines and transom and anywhere there was a hard corner, and I put a 3/8 radius on it to make it nice for the fiberglass mat to wrap over the edge and make a nice solid bond, and you know, a radius you could bend it around. And yeah, that got to where I had the boat ready for fiberglass.
So that takes the boat to where it's ready for fiberglass, and that will happen after our vacation that we're going to take. Yes. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We hope you like the videos. Hope you'll continue to join us on our adventure.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see ya.